Alright, what's good, YouTube? We back at you again. 2K to God, my man Sess. This is going to be the post-fight for the Canelo Alvarez versus the Miguel Cotto fight. Also, we want to throw into the same video what a lot of people perceive, or not perceive, what they actually think to be a robbery between Arthur King Abraham and Martin Murray over in Germany. But we're going to start with Canelo Cotto first. And let me just say, bruh, I am thoroughly impressed. Now, I made a couple of posts on Google+, made a couple of posts on Facebook, and I had posted my original scorecard for the fight. Originally, I had the score 117 to 111 for Canelo. Reason being is that what I saw the first go around, Canelo completely outboxed Miguel Cotto.
Yeah.
And I've watched the fight 3 times already, and I still feel the same way. But there's 2 swing rounds with this fight that were very, very close. Round 1, and I believe the other one was round 6 or 7. Very, very close. And I can see how people gave those 2 rounds to Cotto, which mainly the general consensus in the boxing communities, Google+, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they all believe, the general consensus anyway, is that Canelo won 115, 113, 116, 112. Some have my scorecard, and I can see exactly why. There's 2 swing rounds. That means it'll be 115, 113 if you gave it to Cotto, right?
Yeah.
What I don't agree with is a lot of people saying that Cotto won the fight. And let me rephrase, there's not a lot of people, but there's enough.
Yeah.
There's no way Cotto won this fight. I've even encountered 2 people out of the hundreds that I've actually spoken to over the internet. I've encountered just 2, but that's too fucking many.
For real.
That said, you ready for this,
What's that?
Cotto won all 12 rounds.
Oh. Oh, what the?
Yo.
How?
Yo. Yeah. They said Cotto won all 12 rounds, B. Now,
wow.
Hey, your opinion is your opinion. And I really don't, you know, say niggas don't know shit about boxing. You know
Hey, well, let me say it. Niggas don't know shit about boxing.
You know what I
Damn,
mean?
man.
I try not to say that. I try to respect everyone's opinion because there's so many different ways that you can look at a fight.
Yeah.
But that shit is just fucking outrageous.
Ridiculous.
There's no way Cotto won 12 rounds in this fight. What I saw was Canelo Alvarez doing a lot of the aggressor work. He was waiting. He was boxing. I mean, he did everything that you could ever ask for from a fighter with Canelo's skills. Yeah. The biggest thing was the counter punching. He countered the fuck out of Miguel Cotto. You know what I'm saying? Now, my keys to victory for Miguel Cotto was to go in there and go to the body. He did not do that. Miguel Cotto headhunted the entire fight. Listen, Canelo Alvarez has a stamina problem, people. So why would you not go to the body if that's who you're getting ready to fight? That should be your #1 fucking game plan. Go to the body, sap up his energy early, whatever energy he has. That way he can be more tired as the fight goes on. Cotto did not do that. He went to the body to an extent, but he went more to the head. And Canelo entered the ring damn near my weight. I weigh 205. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker he was close to me. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to the head on a guy like that? If he went down to 155 and then the next day rehydrated up to possibly 185, 180, 175, go to the fucking body.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Freddie Roach was not telling him to do that. Freddie Roach was like, you need to pop your jab again. You need to come in with the jab. Shut the fuck up, dog. What you talking about? Come in with the jab. Go to the body. Use pressure. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Miguel Cotto had the height disadvantage and the reach advantage or disadvantage. He's 5'8" or 5'7". I believe he had a 69-inch reach advantage. Canelo's 5'9". And he has a 72-inch reach advantage. You see what I'm saying? And he's a boxer puncher, which means he leads with a jab to get in closer to you to land his power shots. This is what boxer punchers do. You're not going to outbox that guy, especially when he has the ability to box. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like I said, the counter punching, the step back, what my man says. I want to give all props to my man says. He called this shit in our prediction video. The fucking step back, lean back, pop the fucking right hand uppercut all night long, dude. And then he switched it on him sometimes. Sometimes he would lean back this way, pop the left uppercut. You see what I'm saying? All night long for Canelo. Also, another thing he did that I thought was awesome, he did it against James Kirkland. When he knocked out James Kirkland, he threw the jab out there, and that means nothing. You see what I'm saying? That's just to get you to, drop the guard.
Or maybe decoy punch.
Yeah, or maybe bring it up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Whichever. But he's looking for a reaction here. He throws that, and then against James Kirkland, he ducked real low, looked like he was gonna go to the body, and then came up with that hook. Bam, knockout, right? Against Miguel Cotto, he didn't throw the jab, but it's kind of the same thing. What he did instead was he popped his hand out like that, right? Popped his arm out like that to make it look like he was gonna go to the body. When he did this, he was already ducked. He was already crouched. So he said like this. Miguel Cotto played to that side. He came right up over the top. Bam. Beautiful. Beautiful, man. That type of shit was all night long. Cotto had nothing for him. Like I said, closest scorecard I think was 115-113 for Canelo. But other than that, this is a clear and decisive win for Canelo. What do you think, dude?
Man, I agree with everything you said. This was a very good fight for Canelo. Cotto looked every bit of 35, 36. Yeah. He just couldn't get it going, and I think Freddie Roach's advice to him in the corner was really bad. They had, and even to me, they had the wrong game plan as well. I think what they wanted to do was box him the first few rounds, and then after that, I think they wanted to try and turn it up and get Canelo moving backwards. But the thing about that was Canelo was so big. I don't think that Cotto could actually push him backwards. He couldn't do anything.
Cotto hurt him. He couldn't do shit.
Yep. He couldn't do he couldn't do absolutely anything. So Canelo looked great, man. He was sharp. He was the bigger, stronger fighter. He actually looked like the more skilled fighter.
Yes, he did.
Throughout the fight.
Yes,
he was making Cotto look inexperienced because Cotto was biting on so many of his feints and so many of his feints. Man. It was ridiculous, and it was just a great showing for Canelo, man. He even looked like a defensive wizard at sometimes.
he took a lot of things, and I said this on a couple forums. I noticed we said it too while we were watching the fight. We noticed that Canelo took a lot of different things from Floyd Mayweather in that fight.
Oh hell yeah!
There was a lot of Floyd Mayweather-esque.
Yeah, the pull counter.
Yes,
he was using a lot of Floyd's punches and just, I think deep down Canelo Alvarez is a Floyd fan. He does take a lot of what Floyd does in the ring, and he implements it in a lot of his fights. But all credit be to Canelo Alvarez, man. Physically he looked amazing. He was huge. Yes. So he's definitely ready for 160 pounds. In my opinion, there's really much. I can't really say too much about this fight. You pretty much broke it down, man.
It was sheer domination. Cotto gave a valiant effort
Yeah.
At times, his jab was looking good. He was popping Canelo with the jab, but the problem was he got caught coming in every single time. And then remember, when he would step back out, he would get caught again. You see what I'm saying? The problem that I had with Cotto, the reason why I don't feel Cotto outboxed Canelo is exactly what I just said. He would jump in. He wanted to go to the body. You know what I'm saying? But Canelo was already guarding that, so he would go to the head. And in the process, he would get caught.
Yeah.
Then he would jump back out to try to reset himself. Canelo would catch him again. Then he did too much moving around the ring.
Yeah, that's exactly.
He should have had Canelo on his back foot instead of making Canelo the fucking aggressor. When you make Canelo come and look for you, he can beat you that way. If you're just gonna jump, I mean, I don't think he beat Erislandy Lara, but for all you people who say that Canelo won that fight, how did he win the fight? Because he was chasing Lara. And when he chased him and pinned him down, what did he do? He went to the body. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing here. Only difference is he was way more accurate against Cotto than he was against Lara, and he wasn't getting countered by any of Cotto's punches on the way in. Cotto was letting him come in, and Canelo was teeing off on him. So with a guy with Cotto's style, you have to apply pressure, and you have to go to the body. There is no other fucking strategy to beat Canelo when you have Cotto's fight style.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
If you're not a boxer, a slick guy from the outside, then that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
That night, I remember I kept saying that Cotto was moving too much.
Yeah.
He was just moving too much.
Yeah.
You got a bigger guy in front of you. The last thing you want this bigger man doing is walking you down or walking straight at you behind his punches.
Yeah.
You don't want that. So you can't just constantly boom, 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 rip off shots and then, try to move. And the movement was so ineffective. If it was effective movement, then, I would have had a different perspective. But it was so ineffective. He was just burning up energy. It didn't look good. I was pleading for him to just sit down on his shot.
That's it.
If you're gonna move like that, it was just like I said with the Timothy Bradley Brandon Rios fight. If you know that you're gonna move, you gotta sit down on your shots at some point in time of the fight. Otherwise, the bigger, heavier guy will disrespect you, and he'll get all up in your space, and he'll beat the shit out you for the whole fight. And that's what happened. Yeah. Had Cotto just broke down and did what you said, went to the body, got in Canelo's chest, and just ripped shots to the body, and then turned Canelo, he would have been okay. But Cotto was so focused on ripping off shots and then turning them from the outside. You can't do that. Yeah. The kid was just too big, and he was eating Cotto's shots. Even when exactly. licking his fingers and shit. I mean, you can't do that, man. It was a horrible game plan for Cotto. And I believe what they did was Cotto and Freddie Roach got used to fighting these C-level fighters.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They tried to bring that Daniel Gill, Delvin Rodriguez game plan into this fight, and it backfired because they were fighting a fighter that was arguably that night on the same skill level as Miguel Cotto. So I mean, it just didn't work. And that's why I said in our earlier video that Freddie Roach really doesn't bring much to the table in terms of changing Cotto. Yeah. Had he changed Cotto, he would have had Cotto going right at Canelo.
Yes, sir.
Behind that stiff jab. And I think everybody agrees that, and Paulie Malignaggi would definitely agree, that Cotto's front jab is like a right hand. He throws a very solid, stiff left jab. And in this fight, even when he used it, man, it was so ineffective because he wouldn't really just sit on it. Yep. You can't hit a guy with a good shot if you trying to move around him and you're doing all this ineffective movement. Yep. It just doesn't work like that.
And I like to add to that, while you're jumping in and your mentality right? Your thought process is already to, after landing whatever shots or throwing whatever shots you're gonna throw, your mentality is already set to jump back out and start moving around. You're automatically by default not gonna sit down on your punches when you're actually on the inside throwing your punches. Yep. And that's I'm trying. People are like, oh, Canelo, you know, he weighed 376 pounds. Listen, people, that's not why Cotto's punches didn't hurt him. It's because Cotto did not sit down on anything. Exactly. I told a guy that I was talking to earlier, I said, when you go back and watch the fight, listen to the impact of both fighters' punches. Yeah. Canelo's punches was like, you know what I'm saying? Yep. Cotto's was like,
yeah.
it was like,
exactly.
It didn't sound like it hurt. Yeah. Because he didn't sit down on anything. He was too busy trying to move out. You see what I'm saying? He should have been the Miguel Cotto that fought Zab Judah. Okay? Yeah. Zab Judah is a better boxer than Canelo is. Yeah. Right? So why the fuck didn't he pressure Canelo the way Zab Judah did? And what I feel the reason being is because I think Canelo was hurting Cotto. I really do. I think Canelo was hurting Cotto. That's why Cotto was so fucking intent on staying away from him on the inside and trying to move around the ring. Yeah. Problem is with that, Cotto, you didn't have the reach to touch Canelo, and you don't have the counter-punching ability to catch Canelo coming in. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. You're an okay boxer. You're not a great boxer. You're a better pressure fighter. You're a better pressure fighter when you go to the body. That's what made your money over the years. Not outboxing anybody. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. He has outboxed people. I'm not saying he hasn't. You two, listen to what I'm saying. My point is, Cotto's style is boxer, puncher. Move in behind the jab and get on the inside. That is fucking Cotto's style. And in this fight, he was like Arislandi Lara.
Yeah, he was trying exactly. He was trying to be something that he's not, and it didn't work. And my final point about this is Canelo can be walked down. We've seen a naturally smaller Floyd Mayweather walk him down in the beginning of the fight.
Yes, sir.
With Canelo, you have to set the pace. Yeah. That's the one thing about Canelo. And believe me, I'm very high on him right now, but I'm going to point this flaw out. Canelo's not really very good at setting the pace of a fight.
No, he's not.
If he has an opponent that comes straight at him, he'll fight the way that they're fighting. A la James Kirkland. Yes, Kirkland came right at him, and he made Canelo start swinging at him and start rumbling with him. Yep. Floyd Mayweather came right at him, and he immediately started trying to box Floyd off his back foot.
And he can't do that. And and that's one thing about that further proves our point. Canelo cannot fight off his back foot. When he's backing up, he has one punch, and we've already said it, and it was killing Cotto. The step back, fucking counter uppercut. That is his money punch on his back foot. Other than that, you're not gonna see much from Canelo on his back foot. That's why you gotta apply. There's two ways to beat Canelo. That's what makes him. He's a good fighter. I'm not knocking him. I already said I was thoroughly impressed. But this is what makes him vulnerable. This is why I don't feel he is the number one fighter at 154. I have 4 guys at 154 that can beat him right now. You know what I'm saying? And this will be why. Because there's 2 ways to beat him. Usually with an elite fighter, there's only one way to beat an elite fighter normally, right?
Yeah.
And in that one way, you have to be very good at doing that. You see what I'm saying? Canelo, there's 2 ways. You can stay on the outside and outbox him because he can't cut off the ring very well. Yeah. Or you can apply pressure and go to his body because he has a stamina problem.
Yeah. Yep. Cotto didn't either. So he didn't either.
He tried the first one, but he doesn't have the abilities to do that.
Exactly. But man, all credit be to Canelo, man. Thoroughly impressed. I'm very high on him right now. I'm definitely becoming a fan. Yeah. You know, so hopefully he'll continuously have performances like this. He's an exciting young fighter. I'm liking him.
Yeah. All right. We're not gonna talk about GGG in this video. We're gonna do a different video for that. So let's move to the next fight. The proposed global globally accepted robbery between Arthur Abraham and Martin Murray. What did you think about this fight, man?
Oh man, this fight, another robbery for poor Martin Murray, man. I feel so bad for the dude, man. I mean, you know, a lot of people argue that he won the Sergio Martinez fight, and this fight is no different. You know, a lot of people believe he won this fight, including myself. I sat down and I watched the fight, and you know, I had a unanimous. You know, I understand he lost the round. Now, I did watch it with no sound, so I didn't recognize the part where he lost a point in one of the rounds. But even with that point loss, man, I mean, he controlled the fight. Yeah. You know, he controlled the pace. He controlled the distance, which was very big to me because I felt like Abraham was, him being the perceived puncher, I felt like he needed to come forward and, you know, rip off some of them big shots, you know, and throw those awkward-ass punches that he's known for throwing. Yeah. You know, Arthur Abraham has a very basic defense, but he throws very, very, very awkward punches. You know, and in this fight, man, he wasn't able to do anything, you know.
No, he wasn't.
Murray, I felt ripped off some good combinations. I felt that he went to the body very well, and he actually hurt the puncher. Right. That stood out most of all to me. Yeah. Exactly. That stood out most of all because the perceived puncher, which was Arthur Abraham, didn't hurt the guy who was perceived to have no power. It was the other way around. So that told me that Murray was really controlling the fight, you know? And I just didn't see anything significant that Arthur Abraham did, even when he did land some right hands, because he landed a few of them. Yep. Even when he did land them, he still didn't hurt Murray. You know, so I feel for the guy, man. You know, this was a robbery, you know, in my mind. Martin Murray should definitely be the man right now. You know, and he has nothing to be ashamed of because he went in there and he fought, you know, this powerhouse in Arthur Abraham.
Yeah, I mean, this was, when this fight was announced, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh shit, this is about to be the battle of the missed punches. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Motherfuckers are gonna land 15% each. And I wasn't that far off. I think they both landed in the 20s. You know what I'm saying? Because both guys, they fight like this.
Yep.
They're behind the peekaboo guard, right? Yep. And neither guys are really high volume. Yeah. But early on in the fight, Martin Murray actually defied what he normally does. Yeah. He came out there and was winging. And this is exactly what you do against a guy with a peekaboo guard. Yeah. I love him to death, but that's what plagued Winky Wright. Okay?
Yes,
Winky Wright had the peekaboo guard, and people who were going against him were like, they're winging off combinations, and they're not landing, right? But it looks good in front of the judges, okay? Yeah. That's what Martin Murray was doing in the first 4 rounds against Arthur Abraham. Plus, Arthur Abraham is known to be a slow starter. He's known to give up the first 4 rounds in almost every fucking fight he's been in his entire career. He's given up the first 4 rounds of a fight, right? But after, and just like in every other fight in his career, in this fight, starting from round 5 on, Abraham started to pick it up. I gave the first 4 rounds to Martin Murray. I gave the next 3 rounds to Abraham. Okay? And that's because Abraham, he started opening up. And when he was opening up out of the peekaboo guard, all Martin Murray could do was hold him.
Yeah.
Murray would try to do some shit. Abraham got too close. Abraham would land something on him, maybe a right hand to the face or to the body. That's mainly what happened. And it was rinse and repeated whenever he came in.
Yeah.
Martin Murray immediately started to fucking hold, right?
Yeah.
So with that said, he had Martin Murray on his back foot in those 3 rounds, and he was landing the more significant power punches. And all Martin Murray could do in response was hold. I had to give those rounds to Arthur Abraham, right?
Okay.
And then, you know, after that, I think round 8 was when he hurt Abraham with a fucking right hand. It was beautiful. Straight right hand right to the fucking chin. Wow. Hit him. Now, this was like the second time in Abraham's career that I have personally seen him get hurt.
Yeah.
I saw him get hurt against Edison Miranda when he got his jaw broken in that fight. Okay? Other than that, I've never seen Arthur get hurt.
Yeah, me neither.
He got beat in the Super 6 tournament by Carl Froch, but I didn't see him get hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This straight right hand by Martin Murray came from hell. It hurt that motherfucker immediately, B. And then on top of that, he was retreating, and then he was holding Martin Murray. Martin Murray was coming at him. So definite. I think that was either the 8th or 9th round, but definitely that round went to fucking Martin Murray, right? Yeah. And then after that, it was like a seesaw until I believe the 10th or 11th round, Martin Murray finally got a point deducted for holding, and that's what killed him. You know what I'm saying? Because I think the 10th round, at that point in time, I had the fight very, very. I think I had it even in the 10th round. I had initially gave that round to Arthur Abraham, right? Then with the point deduction after that, and then the end of the fight, I had Arthur Abraham winning 114 and 113. But then I went back and was like, let me look at that 10th round again. Yeah. I went back and looked at it, and I saw that Martin Murray actually won that round. It was better to give him the round instead of Abraham. Yeah. So when I switched that, that's when I had Martin Murray winning 114, 113. I thought this fight was very close, simply because Martin Murray did more holding than he did punching towards the end of the fight. Also, he was getting caught by a lot of fucking right hands, and he was getting hit to the body a lot towards the end of the fight. But ultimately, he did enough to win the fight, in my opinion, because he took the earlier rounds away from Arthur Abraham, and then he took some of the later rounds. Ultimately, he should have won the fight. The 116-111 scorecard that was turned in for Arthur Abraham was a complete fucking joke. The fight was not that fucking lopsided. You know what I'm saying? 115-112 for Abraham. I still don't agree with that. This fight should have either went a draw, right? 1 point for Abraham, max 2 points for Abraham, and then 1 or 2 points for Murray. That's probably the range that this fight should have been in. You see what I'm saying? All right. 114-112, all the way down to a draw for both fighters. But in my opinion, I have Martin Murray winning this fight. He should have been the new WBO 168-pound champion. He would have lost eventually anyway. But that's not the. I mean, it's the same shit what happened to Ishe Smith when he won the IBF title at 147. Oh right? You know what I'm saying? When he beat or at 154 when he beat Cornelius Bundridge. Yeah. Okay. This would have been the same shit. Martin Murray finally gets a title. Then he would have fought, Badu Jack or somebody would have got that L. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he should have been given his glory. He deserved it. This was his third title chance at a title shot. The other two being Gennady Golovkin and Sergio Martinez, and he was robbed against Sergio Martinez. Yep. So he's actually, in my opinion, he's 2-1 in world title fights, but unfortunately, he's not getting the glory.
Yeah, sucks for him, man. I like I said, I was really hoping that he would get the decision, but he did a great job. He did a great job. To me, I personally, I felt like he outworked Arthur Abraham.
That's the story of the fight. He outworked him. That's the story of the fight.
Exactly.
Absolutely. All right, YouTube, we're going to go ahead and conclude this video. Do what you do in the comment section. Let us know, were you thoroughly impressed with Canelo? Did you think Cotto won the fight? Please explain if you felt Cotto won the fight. Do you think Martin Murray did enough to win? Do you think Arthur Abraham won? Let us know. This is Real Talk for Real Fans.